Hey, what's up guys? iLegal here, and I'm going to do a Tekken 8 wish list. With the new Tekken 8 trailer being revealed recently, it's made me think about things that I'd like to see new or change within Tekken. I made a list of things I want to talk about in the video in regards to what I'd like to see in Tekken 8, so we're just gonna jump into it. First thing on the list is better netcode. Right, let's be honest, right? The netcode in Tekken 7 has been a pretty big issue for a very long time. I'm sure, like me, you're very frustrated when a 4-bar connection plays like, you know, what you'd expect a 2-bar to play like. And I think everyone and their mum is tired of, you know, laggy matches and random desyncs and stuff. So, better netcode in Tekken 8, I think is needed more than a lot of things. Right, moving on. The next thing I've got is a penalty for cheating. You know, plugging, save scumming, and in-game cheats like auto parry, auto block, and auto throw breaks. They've driven a lot of players away. I'm not gonna lie, almost me. You know, and I play Tekken basically every day. One thing that's super frustrating is you don't really know if your opponent is cheating. I mean, I just had matches recently, like 10 minutes ago, where I was thinking 3 players I went against were cheating because their stats all said A+ and above punishment proficiency and defensive ability. So I'm like, usually they're like the telltale signs of somebody that's cheating. So I'm always like, are they cheating, you know? So it's super frustrating because you don't know if somebody, let's say for example, I do Brian's down forward 2. Let's say for example, we're at the last round, final round, both players are at super low HP. I go for a down forward 2. My opponent goes for Brian's magic 4. It's 1 frame difference. If he's got a cheat on, it'll like auto punish. I don't know what it's called, but it'll like auto interrupt that with the 12 frame magic 4 combo, and I'm dead. So it just makes those endgame scenarios super frustrating because you don't really know if someone's cheating or not, and you can't appreciate if they've done some like clutch play, some like 1000 IQ play, or they're just cheating. So, I mean, it goes without saying. It's a bit of a rant, but a penalty for cheating and an anti-cheat is something I'm sure you'll all agree on. Very much needed for Tekken. I mean, Tekken 8, we're getting fucking Tekken 8. I mean, it's super hype, but yeah, an anti-cheat and a penalty for cheating are like super important, I think. Right, penalty for bad connection. This is kind of self-explanatory. If your opponent lags out or plugs, I think you should gain the points you would have gained had you won the match. It's that simple, you know. I don't think you should be penalised for someone else's bad connection. Also, this would stop pluggers like dead in their tracks. They wouldn't be able to get away with it with their shenanigans, you know. So that one's pretty simple. Next one I've got kind of covers what I've just mentioned. Dedicated servers. This is something that would sort out a lot of issues I just mentioned. So if Tekken 8 had dedicated servers, it would be an answer to like save scumming and plugging. Also, because it's a dedicated server, I'm guessing you would save your file on the cloud, and it wouldn't be able to be accessed by the players. So you wouldn't be able to save scum, because save scumming works by saving you know, Tekken save files are saved locally. That's how people do it. They can just essentially make a copy of the local save file and then load that in, and suddenly they haven't lost their rank anymore. That's how it works. That's why you see players with like 100 win rates, 100 win streaks and whatnot. Next thing I have is more game modes. I think it'd be pretty fun to play some kind of new goofy game modes, like playing matches at like 2 times speed or slow-mo. They're kind of just fun game modes, not competitive at all. Maybe just like a little break from playing Tekken all the time. I mean, it's still Tekken, but it's just like kind of goofy, you know? I think they'd just be pretty fun to play. And maybe a break from like the competitive aspect of Tekken, like the sweaty pits of ranked. The sweaty pits of ranks that we all love. But, you know, sometimes a break or just some kind of diversity in the game modes would be pretty cool. Team battles as well. I forgot to mention that. Team battles would be pretty good. Next thing I have is faster load times. I was thinking about this the other day, right? You know when you rematch in Tekken? When you rematch in Tekken, it doesn't... it takes ages, because I think what that actually does is reloads the entire map. The characters, the health bars, and all the rest of it. I think that's why it takes so long to load, because it reloads everything. I'm guessing if it had dedicated servers, this would also cover that. Like, the map would already be loaded, so you just reload the characters into positions or whatever. I mean, it's on Unreal Engine 5, so I don't think we even need to worry about that. Right, next thing I have is a better rank system. I definitely don't think you should gain 50 points if you beat a player like 5 ranks above you. And it's going to be pretty demotivating sometimes. It's the case for me, at least. I know some other people feel like that as well. I think most people feel like that, honestly. I mean, this one's pretty simple. Just, you should earn more points for beating players above your rank, and less for beating players below your rank. Maybe there's more to this than that I'm missing, but I mean, that's a pretty simple one. Pretty easy to fix as well. So yeah, a better rank system. The next thing I have... I know this is a long list, but we're more than halfway through. The next thing I have is a tutorial mode. I remember when I first started playing Tekken 7, like 2 years ago, I had a bit of a rough time learning the mechanics and the fundamentals of the game. Even though I'd followed the game through like watching tournaments and stuff, I had a bit of a rough time because I had to work a lot of stuff out for myself or watch YouTube videos. Don't get me wrong, watching JDCR teach you how fundamentals work is super good, because you're taking knowledge in from like a Tekken god, essentially. But I think a tutorial mode would just, you know, one thing is that it would draw like new players in and teach them fundamentals like sidestepping, wave dashes, basics of punishment, basics of the combo system, the screw mechanic, the wall combos, different ways to get up off the floor. I think having these things explained would also be a good incentive for newer players to want to get better. You know, give them motivation to play the game for longer, because they've got a way to, you know, figure out these things. They've got a tutorial. So yeah, tutorial system. Better music. There are lots of like really good iconic Tekken tracks from previous games. I think a lot of the community as well. I've seen this be mentioned before, that it'd be good to see them return in Tekken 8 as like remix tracks or like new twists on the iconic tracks. Some different genres to listen to. You know, I'm pretty tired of hearing like the wah 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 all the time. Hence why you're listening to my Spotify playlist, which is right now is playing Doom Harbinger. But yeah, a bit less of the dubstep-esque tracks and more of like, maybe, you know, we got some like, in the past we had some like nice ambient tracks and stuff, and some like calmer tracks, you know. I remember the Tekken Tag 2, the last stage in arcade mode where you fought June. That's some like really cool like ambient chill soundtrack to it. Maybe, you know, just switch it up a bit, not be like drilling into my ears, into our ears, like all the time. Like, holy fuck. Yeah, definitely some better music would add to the experience for sure. Less characters. See, I was doing the maths earlier. There's like roughly 100 to 200 moves per character. Having to learn the matchup for 50 characters each with this many moves, it can be pretty demotivating to lab everything, because like, just think about one move for a second, right? Let's think about this move, right? Brian's down forward 2. You gotta think, right, so it's a mid. How many frames? 13 frames. What are the frames on block? -6 on block. What are the frames on hit? We just saw it was +5, I think it said. What's the recovery of it on whiff? You know, is it going to be super slow to recover on whiff, or are you going to get whiff punished? Does it have high crushing or low crushing like properties? Could it be sidestepped? All this stuff. That's just one move. There are more than 5,000 other moves in the game. That's a crazy amount of knowledge you have to like accrue to granted, right, you don't use every single one of every character's moves. You obviously don't do that, but there's still multiple thousands of moves you got to do this for. If you want to be like fucking AI and just be like a god at Tekken. But anyway, I mean, I've heard the term thrown around like bloated. The character list is like bloated. There are some characters that I just don't think should be in the game. Sorry. There's some characters that moving forward I don't think need to be in the game. I'll rephrase that. They don't need to be in the game. Like, to name a couple, Josie, Lucky Chloe, Gigas, and obviously some of the DLC characters won't be in the game anyway, like Noctis, Negan, Akamugis, Eliza. The chances are that they won't be in the game. So yeah, just something, it's been thrown around as well. I'm just kind of parodying what other people have said on that. I agree. So yeah, less characters. I agree with that. You know, other people have said it. I concur. Right. Reset ranks every season. Feel like Rocket League does this really well. It's like it's a really good system. Every player is basically put where they're supposed to be in terms of rank. And doing placement matches the start of every season, let's say for example 10, would also stop a lot of smurfs. There'd be hardly any smurfs, and it would stop it ruining the game for beginners, especially. Like the amount of smurfs that are in like 1st to 3rd Dan and like the teal ranks is kind of crazy. I remember when I first started playing Tekken 7 on PC, most of the smurfs are down there because either they reset their account, they reset their ranks. Well, yeah, they just reset their ranks. They just got bored and wanted to start again. Or you'll play somebody who's trying out a new character, and they're really like a Fujin or something, and you're playing in Overlord or something like that, in Orange rank, or Gembu. You might disagree with this. I don't know. This is just an idea. I think Rocket League does it really well. And the last thing I have is no more rage arts and more rage drives. I've seen a lot of people again talking about this, and I agree that rage drives are way more interesting and unique. Like, different characters have good ones and bad ones. It makes them more interesting. And rage arts basically serve one purpose, and that's to get a big chunk of damage down when an opponent is pressing. Obviously you can use them in combos and wall combos, but basically you use them in a scenario where someone jabs and you just trigger a rage art. You know, if you've got 1 pixel and they're half health, you win the fucking round, and you get the same every round. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I know people love rage arts. Like, the animation's cool like the first 50 times you see it, but after that it gets kind of boring. And having to sit through Marduk's and Negan's rage art, like, holy shit, it takes like 30 seconds, man. I don't want to watch that shit for 30 seconds. But also with the rage drives, I think you just still have it that they have more rage drives each, but definitely have some characters that have better rage drives than others, because it makes them more interesting. You don't want a character that has everything, otherwise we get fucking ram again. Just rage drives that are good and some that are bad. Like, you know, you could keep Law's fucking down back 4 3+4. Like, that's a terrible rage drive. It makes them more interesting. You want some characters that are going to be better at some things they do than other things, you know. Makes them more interesting. Also, a compromise to that could be maybe only 1 rage art per match. yeah, if you just had one rage art per match, or even that you have to do a crouch dash beforehand. Or just some kind of more complicated input, like full crouch, down, down, full crouch, down, forward, down, down, forward, or something, you know. Or two quarter circle forwards. Like doing that. You see in the command history at the end there. Say if you had this, that'd be kind of cool, right? It would be a compromise. Just something a bit more complicated, so you don't have to just press this. Like, look, it's just down forward 1+2, man. I know Huarang has a rage art from Flamingo stance, but there could be a compromise, like one rage art per match or something. Just the middle ground. But yeah, I think that's all I have. Yeah, that's it. That's everything I have on the list. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, I'm streaming right now over on Twitch. I stream pretty much every day at twitch.tv/idleeagle. If you're interested, come say hello. If you're not, then don't worry. It's all good. Anyway, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you in the next video.